Hello, welcome in. If you're here listening to this podcast, that means you're destined for something great, and we both know it to be true. So without further ado, welcome to the Dark Matter Podcast. Hello, and welcome back to the Dark Matter Podcast. It's your host, Dev, and today is going to be a sentimental one, and one that will be a lasting one for a little while at least, and you'll understand why in just a few minutes. For those that started with me at the very beginning, almost a year and a half ago, they know that I started this podcast as a way to document my life. And I thought that because through this beautiful journey that we call life, there's so many things that happen on the day to day, on the week to week, on the month to month that sometimes we just don't remember because life happens so quickly. And so I wanted to use this as a way to document the knowledge, the value, the ups, the downs, the things that meant so much to me, the things that didn't matter so much to me, just my current insights as a whole as they came. So that way, months and years later, I can reflect back on this and realize, wow, I kind of have the blueprint from, that quote unquote rags to riches sort of story, right? From the broken home, lower middle class, to eventually having an online business, generating multiple seven figures, and just going through the motions of it and really creating the life that I want, right? Now, having a more hands-off business, building a business with my girlfriend, my partner, and, traveling more. And I think that's kind of what it was. And I feel like, again, those that listen to the podcast a lot, they know that I'm extremely massive on reflection, because life changes. Human behavior changes, your perspective changes, everything changes so quickly. It's actually crazy how quick things can change. You could be online and you could see that a grocery store has a sale of your favorite chips, and you go into the store and it's already out. It can change very quickly. And obviously there's, how do you handle change, right? Like, what kind of decisions and what are some of your emotions that happen as you go through this kind of stuff? But I think as a whole, our job is to constantly reflect on, what are we working towards? What is our goal, right? Does that goal that we have at the top of our mind currently today still matter when I first set it, months or even years ago? And that's it. I think when you constantly reflect, things change. And when they do, I think it's important and it's healthy to recognize that sooner than later. And for those that have stayed consistent with the, show, they see me at, 0 listeners, 0 episodes, all that stuff, to eventually making it up all the way up to 73 episodes, 39 countries on all major streaming platforms, including YouTube. And again, just with the business and the life. And when I first started this, I was in one business. Now I left that business with nothing, then started my own agency, and then partnered with my now girlfriend. And, we are here doing this here together. So there's so much, even in the year and a quarter, year and a half that I've had this podcast, there's been still so much growth and evolution through it. And I think it's going to be so fun to be able to go back and to listen to my thoughts, how I communicate, my tonality, my language, right? How it feels, the things that I was wrestling with, the things that I was excited about. And months and years from now, I think it'll be exciting. And that's the thing with this, we're in a digital world, right? And this content is timeless. This content will be here for months and years to come, for the newer generations, for people that are looking to start their entrepreneurial or spiritual journey, or their sales development, or create an agency, or to really make the impact that they're wanting to make. They're going to find this content as you have. You are that person who is on that journey just as much as we all are, just as much as I am. And I think in doing reflection, being completely honest, I feel like somewhere along the way, I lost the plot a little bit. And I think that happens, right? I think that happens when there's a lot of moving pieces. I think when you have a business and you have big goals and you have big dreams and you have a lot of, aspirations that you're working towards, and you just get to a point where you just recognize that the time is now. And I know this kind of contradicts my whole thing of, documenting my journey, but I almost feel like I started getting guests in, and the ones that you hear on the podcast, the ones that you have heard, are some of the better ones that I had to sift through. I feel like there were a ton of conversations that I didn't even include in the podcast because you just realize there's so many people that don't really care about giving value. There's so many people that don't genuinely want to help others. They just really want to sell. And I think in an energetic world such as it is, when you're around that sort of energy where people just don't care about you, they don't care about your audience, they don't care about the value that you bring, they don't care about your identity, right? All like who you are, they don't even care. They just really want to sell, and they're not even really interested in trying to make an impact in someone's life. I think it eventually just gets to a point where you, depending on your values, you fall out of alignment with whether it's the relationships, whether it's the people, whether it's the thing that you're doing. And for me, being around that energy so much, being around people that didn't care about you, the listener, it didn't care about me and the value and the expertise that I brought. It was just them and how much they knew and why they were better than anyone else. I feel like this really, after months of this, it really did push me to a point where now I don't know if I can confidently say I love it and I'm as passionate about it as I was when I first started. And I know it's difficult, and I know there's a lot of long-term, loyal, consistent listeners that listen to the show every single week. And I thank you. I appreciate you more than you could ever know, that you could listen to anything, anywhere, at any time, and you choose to listen to this podcast. I think because you resonate with the things that I say, you resonate with the way that I share it, and you know that deep down, there is that deep knowing that you know that you are meant to create something incredible. You just don't know how yet. And maybe there's a part of you that doesn't really care how. You just know there's that deep sense of confidence because you know that you're going to create something. You just don't know how. And if that's you and you feel like that, you resonate with this podcast because that's me. That is what I felt. That is my own experience. And I think there's a deeper connection more than just the words that I'm saying. I think we understand each other on an energetic level, at a molecular level. And that's the deep thing that we'll probably talk about at some other time. But so I think this is the reality of this situation. I started this to document my life. I wanted to share and to empower people and inspire them and get them so fired up that they can recognize that anything is possible. And I encourage people to reflect as often as they can, once a week, once a day, multiple times a day. Do it because this is the kind of thing that's going to help. And so I just recognize that we're in 2026. Podcast I started back in 2024. And it's been an incredible journey. And this episode, of course, if you haven't put it together yet, is the end of season 1 and effectively the temporary pause on the podcast. Now, I don't know when it'll be back. I know at some point it will. But I really do not know how long or when it'll come back. And I think the chapter that I'm in now is I recognize the last, I would say, 7 years of my life have always been around, it's always been helping everybody else. It's always been to put everybody else's needs above my own. I think back to my sales career. It's like sometimes I wouldn't close any deals because I wanted to make sure that the new hire, the new person that just joined the company, got a sale first, right? Or I would pass up on promotion opportunities because I wanted to see the other person who I personally felt deserved it more get it, right? And then going into, running this business, giving so much of my time and energy towards everybody else's success and well-being and empowering them to do the things that they love, that lights them up, to find that space for them. And meanwhile, I'm here just passing up on my dreams, passing up on the things that light me up. And I mean, to be able to do that for 7 years and to completely let go of the things that made me uniquely me, to put myself last, to take on other people's challenges and problems as if they were my own so I can help people move through it. I think I realized that through this time, I've actually helped so many people, and I'm so incredibly grateful for all the people that have come into my life, that have, asked, or that have looked into me and what I've done and wanted to have me help them. I'm so incredibly grateful for that. Because again, these pieces, these chapters, these character defining moments is really what it is. It defines your character. It defines who you are. It defines your perspective. It defines all the things that make you you. And I would never change it all, any of it. Nothing in my life I would change at all. Because every single thing, every right decision, every wrong decision, every exciting moment, every disappointing or upset moment, all the challenges that I've gone through and all the wins that I've gone through, these are all the things that make me uniquely me. So, all of this to say, at this point, feels a little weird saying it out loud, but this chapter, based on where I'm headed and what we're working on, it actually requires my undivided attention. And this is something that I don't know if I could confidently say I was ready to give prior to this. But I think the reality of the situation is, for the first time, I think in a long time, I'm ready to I'm ready to do it. I am ready to give my full and undivided attention to creating the desired life that I want for myself. And I think when you think like that, you understand that all the things that don't directly do that for you have to be put on pause. And this isn't, of course, the only thing that I am putting on pause. I think there's a few other things as well. And I think with that, it's going to free up a lot more of my time and energy to put towards the things that are directly going to be related to moving my life in the direction that I want to go. Now, I preface this with saying the people that know me and know why I started this podcast know that I started it because I wanted to document my own life. And I think the chapter that I'm in now, it's almost like I think I've written as much as I can to the point that I'm at. And it's time for me to put the book down and stop writing and go live. And I think once I've lived and I have more experiences to talk about, then it might be more realistic to come back to something like this and maintain it full time as I have. So, yes, as a whole, again, so grateful for every single person that has tuned in and listened to this. I think you are an incredible person. You are destined for incredible things, and we both know that. And this doesn't mean, of course, and I think for you, I think it is just continue working on yourself, working on your craft, perfect your craft. Find the things that resonate with you, reflect deeply. Because I know for me, because I've been doing this for a little while, this is something that if I continue to do based on my reflection, realizing that is no longer in alignment, this is going to lead me to be unhappy. It's going to lead me to be burnt out. And it's going to lead to me being a very different person than I want to be. Because it's my not self. My not self theme is just very bitter because I'm not even doing things that live through my own values. I have my own values for my life, as you should. And when something impeaches or infringes upon those values in the negative, I think you just have to be, one, able to acknowledge it, and two, able to do something about it. And so, yeah, very difficult thing. I feel like it's, again, 73 weeks consecutively I've had this podcast going. So many incredible people that have listened to the podcast. 39 countries. And we'll be effectively putting this on pause as of this episode. So this will be the last episode. I'm not sure when it'll be back, as I've said. Those that know how to connect, most of my podcasts have my link tree. You can find all my socials there. I'm not sure how often I'll be on socials. I'm sure I'll be around on YouTube if you want to get more videos there. I'll be on socials. I'll post every once in a while there too. But for the most part, I think it is going to be just focused on the goals. And the goals that we want, goals that we're well on the way for, require my complete and undivided attention. And so, for the first time in a long time, I'm ready to give it that. And so I thank you. I appreciate you. These episodes will be here. Of course, they're not going anywhere. Unless Spotify for Creators gets bought out, then all my stuff gets deleted. Oh boy. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. You want to connect, of course, you can do so, through the ways that I mentioned there. If you're a business owner or you're looking to start your business, come work with us. I feel like that could be a great way to start as well, working relationship. So, yes, thank you. Thank you for everyone that has shared the show. Thank you for everyone that has tuned in. Thank you for all the people that have made this such an exciting journey. I will be back. Don't know when. Until then, keep it going. Reflect. Understand yourself. Realize that everything that you're seeing, everything that you're experiencing is an internal narrative. See, the thing is, there's no good and bad. It is what it is. It is us that puts the meaning on a situation or a circumstance. And so, check your narrative. Reflect on it. Reflect on your goals. Reflect on your relationships. Reflect on your life. Reflect on your commitments. And there's no shame in putting things down, especially if you know it's no longer serving you. And I think the evolution, the next version of myself that I'm stepping into now, realizes that this, unfortunately, is no longer serving me. Although it's served a lot of you, I think in order for me to get to the place that I want to go, this is one of those things that have to pause. So I appreciate your understanding. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Deeply, sincerely. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one. If you enjoyed today's episode, please like, comment, share, subscribe to it all. You know I appreciate it. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one.